This video is going to be a bit controversial. I titled it, Why Spending Money Will Make You Rich. And a lot of people out there online think that saving every penny, putting all their money into 401ks, will get them to their financial goals. But I'm here to tell you why it won't. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Nathan. I became a millionaire at 19 years old. I started when I was about to turn 18 through my sports content business. And one of the biggest reasons I am as successful as I am is because I haven't lived in fear and I have not been afraid to spend money. I've been spending pretty much all the money I've made. Do I have a savings account? Yes, I do. I do make a few investments now that I make a lot of money, but on the come up, I was really spending every single thing I had to boost my income, because in this world, income is going to get you rich. How much you save isn't going to get you rich unless you're making millions of dollars a month. Your income level is going to make you rich. So if you're starting out, you need to optimize your life for getting to the highest income level possible. And as you can see on these pictures right here, this was me when I was just about to start my business. I was a bum in high school, and then this is me now with my RPG in front of my McLaren. So hopefully that's enough proof for you guys to listen to me. This video is probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes long. Lock in. This video can literally change your life. Go on D&D, put some headphones in, put a hoodie on. If you can't lock in for 10 minutes, you're probably not going to be successful anyway, and you should just click off now. So, spending money will make you rich. You're probably asking why. The reason spending money will make you rich is because what is money? Money is energy, and money is not real. People look at money and they think that, well, they don't understand how it works. They don't understand, the banking system, Federal Reserve banking. They don't understand how any of this stuff works. A lot of people still think money is tied to gold, which is hilarious. It isn't. Money, everything you're working for is backed by nothing. All money is, as you can see right here, is numbers on a screen. That is literally all money is. I believe less than 5% of money in the US is cash now, so it's literally all just digital. And once you shift your belief system from believing that money is king, money is everything, money controls you, to understanding that money isn't real and that money is everywhere, you're going to make a lot more money. And I put this statistic here to really shine a light on how many people have their money mindset wrong, and it's proven by just the stats across the United States. The average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account. These people, the average American salary, I believe, is like 57 grand a year. So whatever that is a month, I don't know, they're making like 4 or 5K a month, probably like 5K a month, and they're living paycheck to paycheck. All of their money goes to their bills. All of their money, goes to whatever they have, random excursions that they spend it on, and they don't have any left over. That's why the average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account. So what does this info mean? The broad, beliefs that the media pushes to you, that your parents have told you, that everyone tells you aren't good, because if you take advice from people who are the average American, you're going to get average American results, which is having less than $1,000 in your bank account. And I don't know about you, that's not how I want to live. And I also don't want to be one of these people that, save all their money and, hope one day that they'll have enough in their 401k so that they can retire and never live a cool lifestyle. Like, I literally have the dream life right now because I haven't been afraid to spend money. I have a McLaren, I have an Aston Martin, I have all the fancy watches, I'm in, this Miami high-rise. I have a dream life. This is what I wanted 2 years ago when I started. And if I had all my money in a savings account, just, thinking money was scarce and scared to spend any of my money, A, I wouldn't make as much money as I do now, and B, my life would not be good at all. So money is energy, money is not real, and you need to get this through your head. So why? Why does the average American have less than $1,000 in their bank account? The reason is everybody is low energy. What did I say in that last photo? Money is energy. So if your energy is low, you're not going to make money. If your energy is high, you are going to make money. And what I mean by energy is your vibration. This is the average American right here. Sad face, going through life, letting wind blow them through life. Whatever happens to them happens to them. They don't achieve their goals. They just work their job, pay their taxes, and die. That is the average American life path. And if you don't, do something different from that, like I'm going to tell you in this video, that's exactly how you're going to end up. That's just what this statistics show. So what are they thinking about? Bills, taxes, rent, food. They're sad, they're fat, they're depressed. All of their thoughts are towards negative things. And this is so detrimental. If you guys know anything about the law of attraction, if you've ever read The Secret, if you've ever read As a Man Thinketh, you understand that every single thing you think about becomes true. And now that I've become successful, successful using these tenets that I'm going to show you in this video, I can 100% be a testament to that is 100% true. Your primary thoughts, what you're thinking about on a day-to-day basis right now, will come true in your life. If you're constantly thinking about becoming rich, if you're constantly believing in yourself, if you're constantly, thinking about achieving that goal, you can see it so vividly, you can almost touch it with your imagination, that means you will become successful. But if your consciousness is clouded with things like this, your bills, your taxes, your rent, how much does food cost, you're sad, you're fat, you're depressed, all these thoughts are negative, and guess what? You're going to attract more negative things. You're going to attract more bills that run your life. You're going to be more depressed. You're going to be even fatter. You're just going to have a worse quality of life if your thoughts are negative. So what is this person's beliefs, right? This sad average American right here. Their beliefs are that money is scarce. They've grown up their whole life. They don't know any rich people, and they also believe that rich people are evil. They think anybody that has a little bit of money either scam their way to get there, they're a drug dealer, they rob people, whatever it is. They just have this belief in their head, because this is what the media and what movies and what everybody propagates, that rich people are just evil. And if you're watching this video, you should have enough knowledge to know that simply just isn't true. That is BS, so that people don't try and actually become rich in their life. What else? They think they can't be rich. They think that every single rich person just has this magical spell put on them, and that they were just told by God at the start of their life that they would be rich. And for some reason, they have this belief that they won't be rich. So guess what? They will never become rich. Now, step one, if you want to get out of this loop, if you want to not end up as the average American who has less than $1,000 in their bank account, and you actually want to live a life of abundance, you need to change your beliefs. Like I said, your thoughts are the quality of your life. Your thoughts lead to your reality, and your thoughts dictate literally everything in this human world. So change your beliefs. If you think money is scarce, you need to understand that money is abundant. Look around you. If you're in a city, all of these buildings cost hundreds of millions of dollars. All these cars you see are hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is money everywhere. There are people with money. There are businesses with money. Anybody can become rich, and money is all around us. Everything you're wearing costs money. Everything that's furniture in your house costs money. Everything you've ever purchased obviously costs money. Money is everywhere. Money is abundant. All you need to do is find a way to take some of it from this world so that you can be rich yourself. Next, you need to believe that you can be rich. Self-belief is the number one step to anything. I know it sounds cliche, but if you don't believe in yourself, you simply aren't going to achieve anything. There's a reason the best fighters in the world, I'll use this example, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson, they were all telling people they were going to be champ way before they were going to be champ. John Jones in 2012 was signing autographs saying he was the heavyweight champ or the light heavyweight champ before he had ever even had a title fight. And guess what? All of these things came to fruition. They believed it so much that they had enough courage to say it out loud to people and sound crazy. That's the level of belief you need to have. You need to be able to look somebody in the eye that you know and tell them, I'm going to do this, with no backing, because you've probably never achieved anything in your life. And that's fine, because you can start right now. But you need to be able to look somebody in the eye and say, I'm going to do this. They're going to call you crazy, but you have enough self-belief to override that, and you believe in yourself enough that you're going to take action on it and you're going to achieve it. So, number one, you need to believe money is abundant. Then you need to believe you can be rich. And going along with that, you need to believe everything is possible. With the internet, you should have such an abundance mindset already that you already believe everything is possible. You see me online, you see all these kids online making too much money because they simply put these thought processes and these actions into actual fruition. They actually took action on a goal they were trying to achieve, and they've made a bunch of money. You see it online. I'm sure your whole feed, if you clicked on this video, is a bunch of rich kids flaunting their supercars, flaunting their watches, flaunting their lifestyle. I'm, one of those people too, but I'm trying to inspire you guys. But the point is, you've seen enough people do it that you should already know it's possible. Now, how do you do this? It's not that easy when you've been living a life of lies to just snap your fingers and say, okay, now I am going to be successful. Now I'm just going to shift everything I believe. No. How do you do this? You need to watch what you consume. Everything in this world is trying to program you, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Fox News, whether it's TV, whether it's movies. Every single thing you consume is programming you. Now, what do you need to consume? You need to consume content that lets you know it's possible. You watching this video right now from someone like me who's become successful, at least relatively successful for my age, is a good step. You're bringing in, positive thoughts and positive knowledge into your mind that's going to inspire you. It's going to make you want to take action, and it's going to give you actionable steps on actually how to change your life. If you're watching, movies that are just with people being poor, with people, living that horrible lifestyle, or if you're watching, TV shows or the news where you're just looking at how many bad things have happened today, these are all negative energy things that are clouding your consciousness and making you have negative thoughts, which are attracting negative things into your life. Don't listen to sad music. Only listen to music that ups your vibration and, ups how you feel. Don't listen to these things that, I don't even know, OG Lil Uzi Vert, that's just going to make you sad and make you want to cry. No, listen to some music that's going to get you going, make you want to attack the day. All of these things compound. Healthy foods over carbs that are going to make you feel lethargic. All of these things compound into being a high vibrational person or a low vibrational person. So how do you do it? You watch what you consume. Next, your environment. This one is extremely important. I should have started this one. Environment goes along with who your friends are. Where you are has a huge impact on your life. If you don't have enough money to move out of your house right now, which you probably are right now, you probably live with your parents, or you live in an apartment, but you don't know how to get out of that situation. You don't have enough money yet. You need to at least prioritize having good friends who are on the same path as you. If you're around 5 millionaires, sooner or later you're going to become the 6th. If you're around 5 people who smoke weed, eventually you're going to be the 6th guy who smokes weed and plays video games all day. Your environment is so important, and you've probably heard this quote a billion times online. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Everybody knows that's true, but everybody still hangs out with losers. You need to be strict with who you hang out with. You need to be strict with the people that are in your environment if you want to be successful, because this is more powerful than you could even imagine. Once I started surrounding myself with winners, once I started moving to Miami, getting in a place where everybody's hustling, everybody's making money, you see supercars everywhere on the street, my income almost doubled just because of the energy that was around me. It made me believe what's possible. It made me work harder, and it made me make more money. So your environment is key. And if you don't have enough money to move to a high energy city where everybody is making money, at least, make sure your friends are on the right path. Next, self-discipline. This is the same as self-love. When do you feel the best as a man? You feel the best when you do something you really don't want to do and you finally get it over with. You've completed all your tasks for the day. You're heading towards that goal. A lot of people watching this, the average American with the less than $1,000 in their bank account, goes through life and just lets the wind, blow them through whatever happens to them. They don't care, they're just there paying their taxes until they die, living their life, because that's just how life's supposed to be, right? Just miserable and depressing. No, it doesn't have to be like that. You need to be on a path where you know that you will achieve your goal. You need to make sure your daily actions line up with what you're trying to achieve. It's simple logic, but a lot of people, I ask them, do you want to be rich? Of course they say yes, but what are you doing every single day in order to become rich? Probably nothing. It's not going to magically happen to you unless you're buying scratch offs. Maybe you'll win, but most likely you're not just going to magically become rich one day. So you need to have self-discipline, you need to have a goal, and you need to be working towards that goal every single day. This is where your peace will come. This is when you're going to feel content, when you've accomplished everything you can accomplish that day, and you're getting closer to the ultimate goal. For you guys who are religious, even if you aren't religious, you should still believe this, but even if you are religious, if you're a Christian, whatever, if you believe in God, God is the creator. He is the ultimate creator. He created everything. He created Earth. He created us. He created animals. He created everything in this universe. And we are made in the image of God. So what does that mean? We need to be creators. We need to build things. This is why men feel the best when they are going after a goal. This is why you feel the best in your soul when you are going towards a bigger purpose, when you are working for something bigger than yourself. It's because we are made in the image of God, and we are creators because God is the ultimate creator. So you need to optimize your life for building things. You need to optimize your life for creating things that are going to get you closer to your goal. Next, you need to study. One of the biggest components to getting smarter is simply studying. A lot of people, they don't study. They just start things and they never do any research on what they're trying to start. If you want to start a business, become the most knowledgeable person in that industry. When I started my sports content business, I looked at the top 20 creators. I studied their videos. I studied why they went viral. I studied their funnels, their systems, how they made money. I became extremely informed in what I was trying to learn, and then I attacked it with intention, with a bunch of action, and that's how I became successful. You can't just do things with no knowledge, and studying in today's day and age is a lot more fun than it was, 20 years ago when you had to read a book. Now you can go online, you can watch videos like this one. There's a lot of interactive things you can do to study rather than just sitting and, studying like you're in class, like you're just reading a book or a textbook. So you need to change your beliefs. You need to believe money is abundant. You need to believe you can be rich. You need to believe everything is possible. And you also need to watch what you consume. You need to watch your environment. You need to have self-discipline, and you need to study. So step 2, like I was saying, you need to take action. Now, action solves everything. If you're trying to start a business, if you're trying to get rich, because I'm sure that's the majority of, who you guys are watching this. Like, you guys are my target audience. Some people may be trying to get stronger in the gym. You may be trying to achieve another goal, but most of you guys are trying to start a business. You're trying to get rich, and that's why I'm going to, lean towards that niche in this video. But this works for anything you're trying to accomplish. You need to pick a goal. Say it's getting rich. Okay, that's your goal. So you need to pick a business. Next, you need to take relentless action. When I started my sports content business, I looked at the top creators, like I was just letting you guys know, and I saw they were posting one video a day, one video every other day, one video every 3 days. They were lazy, right? So I was like, okay, if I can produce this level of high quality content and I can post it 4 to 5 times a day, I will win. It's simple math. And that's exactly what I did. I posted 4 times a day on my page like clockwork. At this point, from when I started, I have over 1,500 posts on my Fantasy Football Rocket Instagram account, and I posted 4 times a day for 6 months without missing a day. And eventually my page started to pop off. Why? Because I was putting in 4 times or 8 times as much work as these people who are at the top of the industry. So that's why I was able to get, 4 to 8 times the results as quick as someone who would, in 4 times the amount of time if they were only posting 1 time a day. It's simple math, but this goes into anything you're trying to achieve. The only way to achieve things fast is to do so much work. You condense the time period by doing all the work someone would normally do in a year and do it in 3 months. Do it 4 times as fast and you're going to get 4 times the results. So you need to take relentless action on whatever you're trying to achieve. Step 3, you need to stay positive and protect your mindset. What did I say about money? Money is energy. You need to keep your vibration high. If things don't go wrong in your business, don't think, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Think instead, okay, what can I learn from this? What did I mess up? How can I be better the next time? Stay positive. Look at it as, if I failed now, I'm already getting one of these failures out of the way. I'm closer to success. That mindset shift, just shifting it from, feeling sorry for yourself to taking accountability and learning from something is one of the biggest differentiators from poor people and rich people. It is extremely important to stay positive because this is going to keep your vibration high, and this is what's going to allow you to attract wealth and abundance into your life. Next, don't stop until you win. The easiest way, or the only way actually, to guarantee success is to never stop. If you go through life, right, and you just believe that, you can be rich, but you never take enough action to actually get there. And one day you watch this video, right? You're watching this video. You finally start that business. You got a ton of momentum. You're doing all the right things for 2 weeks, and then you stop because you're like, hey, where's the money? I haven't made any money yet. You are never going to be successful. My sports content business, when I started, I didn't make money like over $2,000 a month until 3 months in, and I was posting 4 times a day, but I knew if I kept doing it, it was literally inevitable that I would succeed. Then those next 3 months out of the 6 months, I popped off to 75K followers, and from 0 to 150K profit in a month only took 9 months total. So 3 months in, I made no money. 6 months after that, I made 150K profit in a month. Your life can change quick, but that's only going to happen if you don't stop. If I stopped 3 months in when I hadn't really made any money yet, I would have never gotten to that 150K profit month. I wouldn't be sitting here right now in front of this camera letting you guys know about everything I've learned. So you need to keep going until you win. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds, like everything you've ever heard, but it's true. You can't stop. It's the only way to guarantee success. And if you're on the right path, if you're taking relentless action, if you're keeping your mindset positive, you will win. It is literally only a matter of time. So step 2 is action. Here, why is action so important? The law of exposure. Once you are exposed to something, once you see something with your own 2 eyes, you cannot unsee it. Now, why am I telling you to take action? Because inevitably, if you do this, you are eventually going to make some money and you are going to achieve your goal to some degree. Now, this is why this is so important, because once you get that taste of money, once you realize that you can actually, make some profit from what you are doing, it is going to open up your whole world. When I started my business, the whole dream was, 10K a month. That's the number that gets thrown around online. Oh my God, if I could only make 10K a month, I would be rich. I would have everything I ever wanted. And as soon as I got close to that 10K a month, I realized that my whole world had opened up and that $100,000 months were possible. I knew there was a whole nother level. So the whole point of what I just told you, step 1 to change your beliefs and step 2 to take action is so that you can get your first win. You can make your first money. You can get your first taste of, glory from whatever you're trying to achieve. And that is going to push you. It's going to give you a type of energy you've never felt before. And it's going to open up your mind to believing what's possible. So step 3, you've made some money. Now you need to spend the money. To get to the premise of this video, spending money will make you more money. Here's a little bit of what I've done throughout my path as an entrepreneur. First car right here on the left, Jaguar F-Type. When I was making $3,000 a month from my business, like I was telling you, in those first 3 months, like 2 to 3K, I had a car payment of $1,200 a month. I put like $2,000 down, and this car, I had a $1,200 a month payment, and I was 17 years old. I had a 21% interest rate, which is absolutely horrible, but I wanted the car. And the reason was because I was 17 years old buying a sports car. So they absolutely ripped me, but I bought it anyway. But the point is, I was spending half of my monthly income on this car. Why? Because I knew how beneficial it was to feel rich. And this is probably the best decision I've ever made. Once I got this car, everything changed for me. People started to ask me what I do. I started to feel rich. I started to feel like the man. And every single time I got in this car, it had just reminded me of the hard work I've had for those 3 months. I was like, okay, this is what I'm striving for. I have this car. Is it on a payment? Am I renting it basically? Yes, I am. But I still got to a point where I can get in this car. I feel rich. I feel wealthy. I've tasted the first part of success, and this pushed me and motivated me so much because I knew what was possible. This car changed everything for me. It helped my brand, it helped my state of mind, my vibration, and it attracted more money to me. Because why? I was only making 2 to 3K a month, but I was spending half of it on my car. I was thinking money is abundant, more is going to come to me. I knew I was on the come up. I knew I was going to make more money, and I actually put those thoughts into fruition by spending a good majority of my monthly income on the car. And guess what? 3 months later, I made $150K profit in a month, and then I purchased my McLaren. Moved to Miami, purchased this McLaren, and then guess what? My business kept getting bigger, kept making more money. 6 months later, I bought an Aston Martin, still with the McLaren. Those are the 2 cars I have now. I have my McLaren and my Aston Martin. So basically, why did I do this? I did the McLaren purchase because it was the same as buying my Jag on a bigger scale. I had made a bunch of money, and even though I had made a bunch of money, I still had to put $115,000 down on this McLaren because I was an 18-year-old kid, I just turned 19, like a few days into turning 19, and they weren't going to give me a good loan. Like I could only get approved for so much money. This $170,000 car, so I had like a $60,000 loan and $115K down. So I don't care how rich you are, you don't want to see over 100K get wired out of your bank account. That put my back against the wall. It made me feel even richer because now I had a supercar. It helped my brand. It helped my state of mind. And it was just, the same as that Jag purchase to a bigger scale. I'm always trying to push to new heights. I'm always trying to, upgrade my lifestyle because it's going to make me work harder. It's going to make me feel better. It's going to give me new ideas. It's going to make my business better, my brand better. Like literally everything you can get when you're spending money on yourself is a net positive. So I bought my McLaren, and like I said, 6 months later, made even more money, bought an Aston Martin. I made a bunch more money, so I was like, okay, let me get a second supercar, and it has the same effects. Every single time I make a bunch of money, yes, I put a little bit away. Yes, I invest some of it, but I'm not afraid to spend it. I spend a good majority on it, on things that are going to upgrade my lifestyle, whether it's my cars, whether it's my watches, whether it's my apartment. I'm always trying to level up, and this is the mindset you guys need to have, and this is the only way you're actually going to level up. If you're afraid to spend money, you're in a scarcity mindset. Money is going to run away from you, but if you're not afraid to spend money, if you spend money on things that are going to benefit your life and you think, okay, I'm going to make more, money is abundant, more money is going to come into your life. So Step 3 is to spend the money. And why? This is just what I was explaining to you guys. Money is abundant. The more money you spend, the more will come. And you're going to look like this guy down here, this magnet of a guy right here. Basically, all the money is going to come to you because when you're in a supercar, when you're, in the high-rise apartment, when you have the Rolex you've always dreamed about on your wrist, it just is a constant reminder of all the things you've achieved. It's a constant reminder to remember you when you just started to, the point you're at now, that, you've achieved everything everything you said you wanted to achieve. And it's just a constant reminder that everything in this world is possible. It's going to upgrade, your vibration. It's going to upgrade your mindset, and it's going to allow more money to come into your life. And this is where you want to be. You don't want to be like that average American I showed you earlier, worrying about bills, worrying about your taxes, worrying about how much food costs, being poor, being depressed. You want to be the guy that has that mindset that every single thing is possible. You want to have that giddy optimism. That is what's going to make you rich. And this is how I've lived my life, and it's served me pretty well so far. So next, the law of attraction. I already broke this down, but I want to go over it again. What is the law of attraction? Because this is basically the premise of everything I've been talking about in this video. Your thoughts is where everything starts. Your thoughts lead to your actions, which lead to your reality. So your thoughts, aka your vibration, if you're thinking about being rich, if you're thinking about your goals, if you're thinking about, what you've been manifesting all the time, that's stuck in your head, that image of what you're trying to achieve so vividly that you can almost taste it, that is where everything stems from. That leads to your actions, what you actually do on a day-to-day basis. If you're excited about becoming rich, if you're excited about achieving these goals, it's going to push you to take action in order to make those things become a reality, and that's why your actions lead to your reality. For you guys who haven't read it yet, I highly recommend you read the book The Secret. It absolutely changed my life. Or As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. That's probably my favorite book overall, but it's basically the same premise, letting you know that thoughts lead to your actions, which lead to your reality, and everything stems from the mind. Everything stems from the thoughts. So once you change your beliefs, once you start taking action, once you start spending money abundantly on yourself, all of these things in your life, all of your problems will clear up, and you will start making more money than ever. So last but not least, guys, I hope you found this video informative. I'm not saying to blow all your money. I'm not saying to put every dollar you have on something and go into debt. But if you made some money, feel free to spend it, because you need to have the mindset that money is abundant. More is going to come to you. This is what I've done throughout my life, and this is what's allowed me to go from zero to a millionaire in 2 years. And I can't wait to, share more of everything I've learned, on that journey with you guys. That's really what this channel is about. I try to educate you guys on every single lesson, every single tip I can give, from being that 17-year-old broke high school kid to becoming a 19-year-old millionaire. I'm 20 now, I'm getting a little bit older, but that's all this channel is about. So if you want to see more content like this, guys, just subscribe, and then also follow my Instagram at Nathan Antonucci. I'll link it below. Basically, I post, 4 or 5 times a day on there, again, with just more lessons, short form content, what a lifestyle stuff, everything you guys would hopefully be interested in seeing. So subscribe to the channel, follow my Instagram, guys, and if you're interested in working with me one-on-one in Sports Creator Academy, this is where I teach exactly how to get rich like I did in my business, the same sports content business, why it's the best business on the planet. There's a free 4-minute video I link below. You can check it out, see some of our winning students, and if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can book a call with me there. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.